Testing, testing. Good evening and welcome everybody inside Canlan Sports Ice Arena in West Dundee. Tonight, your NIU Huskies look to continue the hot start to their season against Lewis University Flyers. Starting goalies, it's going to be the same old Grant Goodson for Northern Illinois University between the pipes. On the other side, it's Christian Rohrer for the Flyers. Both goalies very sharp to open their seasons, and we'll see how things shape out tonight against these two teams. It's Northern Illinois University versus Lewis University. For more on our starting lineups, we'll listen in on our PA announcer, followed by our nation's national anthem. Ready to go. Evans, Martin, and Morgan to open up the game for NIU. And the puck has been dropped, and we are underway from Canlan Sports Ice Arena here as this is played at center by Evans into Martin. Now taken back the other way. Long pass picked off and trying to come up with it. It's played in behind the cage. Twirling with it is Ritchie, and he's behind his own net. He's pressured by Martin, and then Evans comes in as well. Swept out to the other side by Martin. I beg your pardon, Morgan, and now it's up to the point. Here's a long shot. That's blocked. The rebound. That one's blocked as well. Keaton Peters still trying to work it in. It's finally taken out by Ulmer. He'll flip it on net and get a line change for the Flyers. Goodson will cover up for a stoppage of play. Jake Wolninski off the face-off. NIU the first to it in the corner. Maldonado on the other side. Flips it up. Dominic Varallo, who had 2 goals in their last game, as he throws this one to Sturm. It's worked in behind the net. And a big hit there and behind the cage. Slow to get up is Jake Welninski, and they're going to call a whistle here. He heads to the bench. He looks, we'll hope that he's all right. We'll keep an eye on him. Ulmer wins the faceoff, and chasing after it is Tyler Morfoot. Another big hit in the corner there. Maldonado on Benalagna, and it's taken away. Here's Sturm. Sturm going down low. It was in the skates of Varallo, and it's pinched away from him. Huskies very physical to begin this game. Maldonado trying to thread a needle across to Castaneda. He's able to regain possession and give it over to Van Voris. His shot is blocked. It's up in the air. Warner able to send it out, and in behind the play is Jack Selman. If he can race to it and get it on net, and Goodson able to make the stop there, short side. Lead pass for Varallo ricochets to the boards. Defended nicely by Ritchie, and then picked up in behind the net by Peter. Clearing attempt failed there by Warner. Was blocked nicely by Robbie Zimmerman of Northern Illinois, and he picks it up out of the corner now. In behind. And out front, Castaneda. It's denied. Christian Rohrer saw that one all the way. Castaneda will head to the bench, and two other Huskies head on to the ice. Jason Castaneda, the junior, first-year action tonight, Northern Illinois from Huntley, as this one's thrown on net, and unable to handle the rebound was Jeff Shirky. Now out to the point, Hurlman a shot, and that's blocked. Nice defensive play there by Gutt, the captain of this Flyer team. You'll see him a lot tonight, and I'm sure you'll hear his name. He goes up the point, and moving in, it's Pickens, and that one is off the stick of Goodson and wide. Puck stolen away, in front. Oh, it's a nice save by Rohrer on Zimmerman. Up around the point. Hurlman way up there and into the glove, played by Rohrer. Trying to work it out of there, and they do. Stumpf gets it in. They're outmanned on defense. Northern Illinois able to pick that one up. Trying to thread his way through is Varallo. He gets it on net, and that one rebound given up, and able to get out of harm's way for the moment is Welninski. I beg your pardon, that's Warner, and now it's turnover again. In front, oh, what a nice save there by Rohrer. He was ready for Northern Illinois' leading goal scorer, Rodon Evans, and after the play, there's a collision along the boards and a whistle. Morgan will head to the box. Huskies have to kill off a power play relatively early in this one. It's won by the Flyers. Thrown on net, a nice save by Goodson off an Ulmer shot. Huskies able to clear it out of the zone. Danny Lund able to retrieve it at center, but did not get it much far in the zone. He's got on his stick now. Hounded by Warner. They're able to keep it in the boundary of the offensive zone. Stump able to dig it out of there and find it in front. Out hopped over the stick of Johnson, and that was shot wide. Caden Ulmer in the corner. Tried to go back out to him, and it's intercepted. Matt Martin trying to lead Rodon Evans, and it was just out of his reach. Out to the net to play it. Rohrer. Caden Ulmer. And it's turned over. Here's a chance for Maldonado, 2-0. And that one denied by Rohrer once again. Nice move by Maldonado. They're just killing time here. Out to Wendy up at the point. Hurleman. And Maldonado goes up to Varallo. He's got speed in. Nice move, and he was just had enough contact to knock him off the puck there. Nice play by Ulmer to prevent something that could have been dangerous. Here's Selman the other way. Selman on goal, easy save. It goes to the corner. Goodson with his head on a swivel as they battle for it in behind the net. And it's taken out of there. Skyrocketed by Maldonado, and Varallo once again trying to wreak havoc. Maldonado got it right there at center, and he's moving in. Can't get through the sea of sticks from the Flyers, and now it's out to the point again. Wendy across. Maldonado, turnaround shot, and it was a bouncer partially blocked, and it goes wide. Ritchie, and in front, a turnover. And Shirky couldn't get a handle on it. Puck hops over the stick of Zimmerman. And now taken out of there by Stumpf. Worked out. Jack Selman will get a line change for his team. Puck is iced by the Huskies, and they'll have to perform a face-off in their own zone. Just about 7 minutes gone by in this scoreless first period. Huskies have had a couple of chances. Flyers still trying to work in there. They had one power play opportunity, and it was killed off quite routinely by the Huskies. They've worked on their defense, it shows. Only one goal let in last game, 4 over the last 2 to start this season. Here's Smith retrieving the pass. Smith trying to work to the net. It was knocked off his stick nicely by DePego. Smith still has it. Backhand pass over to Zimmerman along the boards. And now Shirky in behind. Shirky out there below the goal line. Emerging from it is Zimmerman. And he's able to find it to Smith. Van Voorhis shoots, and that one was blocked by Ulmer. Rebound to the other side. Castaneda from a difficult angle goes through the crease. This puck is gotten by Warner, and at center ice, Van Voorhis, the outstanding freshman defenseman from Lakeville, Minnesota. Shooting is Smith, and that play is whistled dead. Huskies have the line out there that started the game. Evans wins the faceoff. And it's worked along the corner to Martin and then Van Voorhis. Quick pass to the other side, Castaneda. His shot's partially blocked. It goes wide in front! And Morgan was stopped by Rohrer. The other try by Evans pops up in the air after it was blocked. Ben Alagna responsible for that. This pass in front ricochets off the stick of Martin. And now outletting are the Flyers. But not for long as it's stolen off the stick. Matt Martin able to keep things down low. Castaneda had the puck elude him as it was deflected as it was coming towards him. Evans on the other side bounced off his stick. Bodied in behind the net is Matt Martin. Peter able to outlet it up along the boards. Just out to center, retrieved by Morgan. And Castaneda. Slap pass right on the stick of Johnson, and he made a great defensive recovery to prevent anything further. Coming along with it is Peters. Nice little drop pass to Evans, but he didn't realize it at the time. He did. It was already behind him. Morgan. Up the boards. Brayton Robertson, junior from Michigan, works it in deep. He's got it on his stick now, and he'll just send it around to the other side where it can be gotten by Selman. Castaneda giving some trouble in behind his own cage. Coming in is Danny Lund to protect things. Maldonado twirling, handing it off. Keaton Peters able to work it out. Collision in behind the play, and this is taken up ahead. Whiffing on the shot. His gut, and now it's forced out. Gut had it, lost it. Stump finds it. And it's Lund right along the red line. Able to work his way around Gut. Danny Lund with a shot up high and a nice save. Christian Rohr saw it all the way, and with 10:09 remaining in period one, still scoreless on Huskies Nation. Zimmerman going in behind. Retrieval from Smith. Smith trying to work out front with it. Does, and it's blocked by Gut. And winds up on the stick of Zimmerman eventually. He turns around, shoots. Deflection in front, and that's denied. Nice, terrific save once again by Rohrer. He's been keeping him in it this first period. As Hurleman throws it to the net, it's padded aside once again. Zimmerman. And Stump able to get it ahead. Pickens will go off to get a line change. He's gassed. Taken ahead by Hurleman. Hurleman slowly gaining the zone. Across to Smith in the slot. Trying to work his way to the net, and he was pinched to the outside by Tyler Moorfoot. Moorfoot has it. And in behind, Alagna. But Smith coming in there. Shirky trying to go once again to Smith. Flyers are on that. And they're just able to get to the blue line and now out. Here's Ulmer. Touch pass to Johnson trying to work his way around Hurleman. He's forced to the outside. Warner coming in there and sending it up high is Johnson. DePago over to Johnson along the boards. And brought up once again. Shirky, little drop pass to Lund. His shot, and that's blockered aside to the corner by Rohrer. And it's past Luke Marks and iced. Luke Marks to take the face off. Van Voorst behind him. Trying to pinch in there. Garrett Flormhalls. The Stewartsville, Minnesota native. He's a senior. Gets his first action of this young season. They did not have him in the lineup the first two games. Finds himself playing here against Lewis University. It's picked up by Castaneda behind the net. Trying to clear and could not. And Pickens. Moorfoot could not get in any deeper. It's taken ahead. Luke Marks. Morefoot back there to retrieve it. Both teams are changing. Welninski able to work around a dangerous Matt Martin as this one's sent right back in and out of his net to play it already is Christian Rohrer. Puck takes a funny bounce behind Johnson, and it's kept in by the Huskies remarkably. And finally, they're able to get it out. Ulmer. And then it's knocked off his stick along the boards, taken up by Evans. Evans on his backhand working the slot. Pass across! And that might have hit his own man in front, Wendy. It was Martin with the opportunity. He's got it now. Shoots, and that one's denied by Rohrer. Picked up again by the Huskies. Here's a long shot. That one's wide. Rebound! And getting across was Rohrer on Martin. Once again kept in. Peters looking for a deflection and winds up on the stick of Morefoot and out. Lund blew a tire. Ulmer behind him. Rodon Evans, the Husky captain, works it up ice. He goes across, right wing side. Here's Lund, right on goal, and that one's paddled aside easily by Rohrer. Peter along the boards from the circle shoots one, deflected in front, and diving for it to cover was Rohrer, and it's swatted away. Lund pressured by Gutt, who nearly forced a turnover, and now it turns into a battle along the boards. Huskies able to win that battle, and now up with it is Keaton Peters. Crosses the red line and in. Drop pass, here's a shot! Sturm went wide of the net. Borallo on the other side trying to beat Alagna to it. He wasn't able to. And then it's taken off the stick. Maldonado, nice play to force a turnover on Welninski. Maldonado shoots, that's blocked aside. Once again by Rohrer. He's been very busy thus far in this first period. Opposite of Grant Goodson. He has not faced much action so far. Borallo in front, Maldonado shooting, and that goes off the glove and out of play. And a face-off win by Sturm. Maldonado retrieves it. Up high, long shot. Looking for the direction in front by Borallo. Now it's thrown to the net. Hurleman into the glove of Rohrer. Hurleman, another one of those newcomers to the Huskies that have turned heads so far. He's gotten a lot of playing time, the freshman from Jamestown, New York, as this face-off is controlled by the Huskies. In front of the net, Franklin! And that is robbery from Rohrer once again. Boy, Maldonado stole the puck away and set that up, and Franklin should have had a goal there. If it weren't for Rohrer, it'd be 1-0. Boy, he has looked so good tonight. Christian Rohrer, the senior from Orland Park, Illinois. Another one of those things about this Lewis University team is a lot of their team consists of seniors. These guys have a lot of experience. Now it's Brendan Hurleman keeping it in the zone. Here's Smith towards the net. Blocker side again by Rohrer. Into the corner. And now behind. Shirky. And now James Franklin trying to throw it towards the net. It was off the stick of Smith, and now it's sent down on Goodson. He's got a man right in front of him, and it's knocked down. Fortunately for him, there is no flyers in the area as they were changing. Puck kept in by Alagna. That shot goes wide. Rebound in front, and blocking off that one was Shirky. Walker Smith walking the line. And dropping to Shirky, who's in on net. Thrown there, and it's covered up by Rohr safely. Off the face-off, the Flyers win it. Going around, and Van Voorhis pinches in deep to try to provide some offense. Stump able to control it. In behind, Evans looking in front for Martin. And Van Voorhis throws it. That one's blocked by Gutt. Winding up as Van Voorhis is blocked. Rebound in front! Iron on goal! 2 great saves by Rohr. Another shot, Van Voorhis scored! Peter Van Voorhis, with his second in as many games, has made it 1-0. Took them a while, but eventually they were finally able to beat Rohr. And it's the freshman, once again, from Lakeville, Minnesota. Peter Van Voorhis, 1-0 Northern. Puck is taken up along the boards by Ulmer, trying to get it right back, and it's thrown in front. Good defensive play by Lund. He's had a pretty good period so far tonight. Evans up the boards. Once again, he's got a man going to the net. Tried to go back to Peters, and now he does, and it's sent wide of the net. Rodon Evans working on Alagna. Flyers able to get it to the corner. And now Danny Lund shoots for a tip, and it goes out of play. Lucas Sturm wins the faceoff. Maldonado scored! Micah Maldonado makes it 2-0. Maldonado, another one of those young players, had a terrific freshman year. Here in his sophomore year, he picks up his second of the season, and he puts the Huskies up 2-0 over the Flyers in period 1. It's been all Huskies in this period. Puck comes out of there. Formhalls. This puck winds up on Goodson. And Franklin able to get it out of there. Outlet to Formhalls. Formhalls finds Marks. Huskies got the fourth line out there. In behind. There's Marks. Ukness in the corner, worked on by Brayton Robertson. He's still got the puck. Ukness lost it in his skates, and Robertson fighting for it in the corner, able to come out of there with Formhalls. There's a shot, and that one goes wide from Ukness. Puck sails past the head of Ethan Koval, and this is an icing. 66 seconds remaining in the first period. 2-0 Huskies goals coming from Peter Van Voorhis and Micah Maldonado, both second goals of the season for them. Under a minute to go in period one. Zimmerman out of there with it up here. Van Voorhis shoots one, and that one is denied. Off of Rohr, and this is out to center. Redirected in, and Shirky trying to force a turnover. He almost did in front of the net. Zimmerman did. Van Voorhis shoots, and that one's off a mask in front. Once again, here's Castaneda shooting, and that one's denied by Rohr as well. Van Voorhis, pressure not done. Down low again, Zimmerman. And trying to center it, coming up with it, Maldonado and Zimmerman deking, and that one is denied by Rohr somehow. He lays on top of it, and the Huskies will think about how that didn't go in. Ten seconds. Shirky winning the faceoff, but it winds up on the stick of the wrong man, Gut. He shoots it into the glove of Goodson, and he'll play it. Let this clock wind down. Score is 2-0 Huskies after 20 minutes of play. Both teams will head back to the locker room. We will see you on the other side of this intermission on Huskies Nation. welcome you back to the ice as the teams take it. Puck drop just moments away for period number 2. Maldonado and Van Voorhis, the goal scorers in this game. As we'll remind you, these two teams will meet again tomorrow night. Huskies will be on the road for the first time this season to play in Romeoville, home of the Lewis University Flyers. Christian Rohrer looking to keep his team in it. Solid period. The action from the Huskies, 2 goals late in that second period. We'll see how both teams respond. Huskies immediately off the face-off. Danny Lund and Ryan Morgan around the boards. Martin got it taken off his stick by Gutt. And DePago works it deeper. Flyers playing keep away to start this second period. It's taken away, though, for the moment by Martin. Knocked down by Morgan on goal save rebound, and that hopped over the stick of Martin. Got with it. Morgan on him. And finally gotten out of there. It'll be iced on a fresh seat of ice. Face-off win by the Huskies. Long shot from the circle. Maldonado looking for his second. Soaked up. Sturm and Varallo come together. It's picked off. Maldonado down to Sturm. Deking and making the save. Once again is Christian Rohrer. He had to lean back to his left to get that one, and he did. He's kept his team in it countless times. They wait for Rohrer to regather himself. He'll take the face-off to his right once again. Face-off taken by the Huskies and trying to work it on goal is Varallo. It's pinched to the corner. Maldonado deflecting off the boards, and Castaneda shooting for a tip. Instead, it's blocked and winds up on the stick of Lucas Sturm, who goes back to Castaneda, across to Van Voorhis. He shoots, deflected, and that's on net and a save made to the corner. Sturm and Castaneda working it in deep. Varallo finds it. Wraparound attempt on goal! And the rebound attempt is blocked. Maldonado prevented the Alagna clearing attempt. And at center, it's taken away. And Dan Johnson will work it into the zone for the first time this period. For the Flyers, it's in behind. Selman. Huskies able to come up with it. Trying a lead pass for Varallo. 3-on-2 if they hurry. Here's Varallo dropping it back for Sturm. Sturm and able to get a handle on that. Alagna prevented him from shooting it. Puck out of the reach there of Dan Johnson, and it's once again the Huskies putting pressure on the Flyers. Varallo cannot pitch it deeper. And now 3-on-2 for the Flyers if they hurry. Here's a chance, and that one is blocked nicely by Van Voorhis. Ritchie along the boards. Coming in deeper, and now here's a bank pass. Walker Smith's got a partial break. Shot on goal, and a save made by Rohrer. Winds up all the way down where Van Voorhis can retrieve it. Forcing a turnover. This winds up on the stick of Jason Castaneda. On the stick of Zimmerman. On the right side, shooting! He scores! Robbie Zimmerman! It's 3-0. Robbie Zimmerman able to strike here. And he's wide in this score, as that one's flipped on goal by Gutt and gloved by Goodson. Going to stay out there. Up high. Here's a long shot wide of the net from McDonald. I beg your pardon, that was Robinson, and that was rung around. Formhalls. Robertson pinches in deeper. Jim Franklin to turn with it. Luke Marks, 1-on-2 against the Flyers. Eucness. That one knocked down with the stick off the Marks dump attempt, and this one's found on the stick of Hurleman, dropping it across for Formhalls, who finds his man Franklin. Pass up the middle of the ice is going to miss everybody and result in an icing. Face off. Shot out of the zone by Marks right away. Alagna back to play it. Keeping it away from Formhalls, and it winds up on the stick of Pickens. This is puck kept in by Smith. But now Pickens. And he's got a man with him. Stumpf on that! Score! Stumpf gets him back in it. This game is 3-1 now, shortened to a 2-goal lead. It's Stumpf from Pickens. Right on goal. Matt Martin was right there as it wound up on the net. Fortunately for the Flyers, it was kept out of there. Now a potential break for the man who just scored, Stumpf. Send it in deeper. And Evans working in front. Morgan on net, and that's denied. Another face-off win for the Huskies. Here's a shot by Lund. That is blocked. Not out of play, though. Retrieved from Evans. Martin walking it. Lund shooting it. Up high. Knocked down on goal. Morgan, and it's covered up eventually by Christian Rohrer. Fates off. Controlled by the Flyers, it's Selman. And this puck is off the stick of Dan Johnson and into the Flyer bench. For the Flyers. Starting to gain some sort of traction. Varallo in deep, however. And in front for Maldonado. The pass was just cut off by Braden Ritchie. On the other side, Keaton Peters drops it for Maldonado. Maldonado, no lane for him to shoot. It's blocked. Out to center. And Sturm. Lead pass ahead for Peters, and that one on net, and a glove save made by Rohrer to stop the play. Lucas Sturm, sophomore from Chicago, Illinois, came in at the tail end of last year and turned some heads. He soared up the depth chart here. Changed his number from 12 to 9. 12 is now occupied by none other than Jaden Uknes, pardon. This is taken by Varallo. And the pass, Maldonado has to turn back as Pickens with a man on the wing, and that one's thrown into the corner behind the net. Gut coming in there. And Castaneda is brought down. That's going to be a penalty as he was streaking. I beg your pardon, that was Sturm, and the Huskies will have their first power play of the night. Pickens will go to the box. And Shirky off the faceoff. It's won by Ulmer. Taken in behind by the Huskies, however. This is up high. Franklin across to Castaneda. Smith, I beg your pardon. Here is Evans. Across to Smith. He's got an open side. Shooting, and that one's a toe save. Rohrer able to keep it a 2-goal game. Roaring up ice is Evans on his backhand, and it's poked just out of his reach there. It's play by DePago. This one shot by Castaneda wide. Here's Evans, a one-time shot. That one getting a piece of it was Rohrer, and then winding up on the stick of Shirky. Smith down low to Shirky. Shirky looking for Evans. He's got him. Evans. And Jason Castaneda shoots. Rebound in front. Zimmerman looking for his second, and it rolls behind the cage. It's eventually gotten out of harm's way by the Flyers. They're changing quickly. Zimmerman, offside, they say. He tried to catch him in the middle of a change, and Zimmerman pleading his case, but it's a game of inches as he'll take a face-off. Working it back into the zone. Van Voorhis taken away from Ulmer. Half minute to go on this Husky power play. Streaking up ice is Sturm. He stops on a dime. Drops it to Peters. Peters goes across to Van Voorhis. He shoots, and that one's blocked nicely and out of the zone. Boy, that was a heavy shot, and that stung Brayton Robertson. Shook it off his left leg. He looks to be all right. Here's Sturm. 4 Huskies enter the zone. Sturm in front. Peters, and that one wound up behind the cage. Penalties up. Back to even strength. Sturm has it on his stick. Hounded by 2 Flyers. One goes down to the ice, and now it's taken up ahead. And a big hit by Maldonado there on Caden Peter. And now Maldonado trying to retrieve the puck. Ritchie instead grabs it for the Flyers. Peters turning and sending it back in. Lewis able to send it out. Van Voorhis. And this one, turnover forced by Gutt. Stump trying to look towards the net, and that pass was cut off nicely by Van Voorhis, and now up the head. Here's a 2-on-1. It's Morgan. Shooting. Score! What a goal! Ryan Morgan has scored his first collegiate goal. It's 4-1. Ryan Morgan, welcome to the party. He scored his first goal, the freshman from Monroe Center, Illinois. The lead is back to 3. Huskies keeping the pressure on. Here's Koval's shot, and that one's sticked aside. Pickens got a stick on it. And now this puck is turned over once again. Another point for Rodon Evans. He has a goal and an assist on the most previous goal. Morgan looking for Martin. Instead, it's Evans. He'll shoot it, and that one is blocked. And this puck ahead to Morgan. There's a stride offside, and so this one will come just outside the zone. Koval bodies Dan Johnson down to the ice. Huskies able to outlet. At least they tried to. That went off the skate. Jack Selman. Huskies pinned in their own zone right now. Now Shirky able to get it at center ice and handle it over to Zimmerman across. Smith! And that one's off the blocker and then off the glass. Took a bounce out in front. Onto a stick of a Flyer, and now taken ahead by Jack Selman. And he had it stolen away from him by Zimmerman. I beg your pardon. That's Walker Smith, and he's worked on. Nice defensive play, but not out. thrown to the net, and that one's deflected wide off the stick of Zimmerman. He's got it now and behind the cage. Up high, across to Koval, shooting through a screen, and that one's blocked. Alagna got a leg on it. Puck not out. Kept in nicely. Hurleman, and it's down deep. Shirky in front! And Smith denied once again by Rohrer. And Zimmerman pinches it in down low in the corner. Pried out of there, but he gets it right back. Jeff Shirky working against Gutt. Zimmerman pries it out of there, up high, taken by Danny Lund. Got a lane to shoot, and that one's deflected up high off a stick. Peters down low to Shirky. And that's worked along the corner. Shirky retrieval again. Trying to work his way on the backhand. It was poked away. Puck on the stick of Danny Lund from the touch pass. Peters across. Trying to get it on net. They score after poking away at it. It's 5-1 Huskies. Out of all that humanity in front of that, Robbie Zimmerman able to come up with it. Double trouble for him. It's 5-1. And no goalie change for Lewis University, but the Huskies going to take out Grant Goodson, and it's going to be the first action for the freshman from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Joe Miller. He'll get a shot halfway through the second period. What a moment for the rookie. They'll give him a shot. Here's a shot right on goal, and a save by Miller. Rebound, they poke away at it, and they thought it went in, and Miller got a glove on it, and now they poke again, and that's covered up by Miller. Here's a shot right on goal, and Miller had to be ready. It winds up in the corner. Here is a shot, and Flyers trying to test Joe Miller early. So far, he stood to the task. Out, and Marks past Welninski. Luke Marks has it. Van Voorhis has got to turn quickly to keep it away from Stumpf. He gave it away, and the Huskies able to recover for the moment. Picked up by Pickens. Eucness along the boards, and Flyers able to pry it out of there. Here's Stumpf shooting. That one went into the netting for a whistle with 6 minutes remaining in period number 2. Huskies have scored 3, Flyers have scored 1. It's a 5-1 hockey game. And a face-off win for Lewis. Here's a shot by Pickens, seen all the way by Joe Miller. Face-off controlled from the Flyers, but now Varallo poking up. Sturm has it. Return pass to Varallo in front, and that one was off the toe of Rohrer. He had to be ready. His puck off the boards. Van Voorhis winds up and shoots one that never made it to the net. Varallo drop pass, and it winds up on the stick of Castaneda, trying to drag around. Pickens does. On his backhand in front, Varallo, and that one found a sea of sticks. It's out of the zone. Flyers get new men on the ice. In doing so, Ulmer forces a turnover. Backhander in front, kept away from Sam Warner by Van Voorhis. And Ulmer right at the center ice logo, trying to work in, and he's given some trouble by Sturm. And from center ice, handled easily by Joe Miller as this is worked up. Van Voorhis jumping up on the play. Backhander right on goal. Rohrer soaks it up. Here's a face-off win by Martin. Tapped back to Smith. Off the stick. Into the corner. Smith again. Cross, walking the line. They play catch. Smith from Franklin, and that shot's wide. Getting a piece of it was Caden Peter on the way. Sent in front by Morgan, and that was too hot of a pass to handle from Morgan. Sent up high again. It's Franklin. It's Smith. He shoots one, and that never made it to the net. Morgan forces it in behind the cage on a clearing attempt from the Flyers, and now it begins a battle. In behind Hurleman. Off the glass and to Martin. Kept away from Evans. The Flyers finally able to get it out. Johnson, and now turned over. Right on the way, toe drag by Evans. He shoots, and that one's denied by Rohrer, and then they collide at the end of the play, and the net is dislodged. Boy, that would have been something. Rodon Evans showing off his fancy moves. Nearly made it 6-1. You can forget about it. Without Rohrer, this game might be 10-1. He's made about a dozen brilliant saves. The trouble has just been the quantity of them, how many chances have been coming at him. He's been able to keep up, but obviously goals are scored. Face-off win, Evans shoots, and that one's denied again. Nice work by Gutt, and he is nearly obliterated by Morgan, and he tips it in. Look at this play. Welninski, nice play, but out of his net to play it is Joe Miller. He got around two Huskies. Puck just eluded him on his way to Joe Miller. Morgan along the boards. Huskies are pinned. Danny Lund, it's thrown, and Miller had to stick it away. This pass goes up the boards. Evans chasing after it. He stops on a dime. He shoots, and that's denied again by Rohrer. Another great save. And now the other way. Johnson trying to work through two Huskies. Brilliant defensive work by Danny Lund. He's really had a game tonight defensively. Here is Johnson again, shooting into the glove of Miller. He's solid all the way. Here's a face-off win by the Flyers. Alagna forces them in deeper. Robinson. And this one's taken ahead by Walker Smith. Smith trying to get around Alagna. He's worked him behind the net. Trying to kick it to his stick. Huskies cannot keep it in the zone. They do. Just on the line, Zimmerman was able to keep it in. And now it's Zimmerman. The touch pass to Smith. Back to Zimmerman, who's on hat-trick watch. He shoots, and that's denied. Rebound. Rohrer able to land on it and cover it up with 2 minutes to go in the second period. Worked in there, pried off the boards by Shirky. He tried to go back to Smith, and it's cut off by Welminski. Gut, Van Voorhis. Zimmerman working along the boards with him, and Stumpf able to keep it in. Van Voorhis as the Huskies regroup. This is Walker Smith trying to get around Robertson. I beg your pardon here. Castaneda with speed moving in, shoots one, blocker save, rebound, another save by Rohrer on Shirky. And now in behind Zimmerman, twirling with it. Zimmerman carefully playing the puck, going up the boards to Castaneda, who goes across to Van Voorhis. He shoots, and that's denied again by Rohrer with traffic in front. And now a 2-on-2 the other way. Stumpf with Gut. And that goes wide on the shot. 1 minute remaining in the second period. Gut comes up with it on the other side. Calming play down, Gut has it. Can't get around Shirky. And then it's taken off his stick by Stumpf. Ulmer working against Castaneda on the boards, coming in for assistance there. Sturm, and he's working up ice with speed. Past Zimmerman, Sturm shoots, and that's denied off of the pad. Sturm again finds the puck behind the net, going towards the net. In front, Verallo poking at it, and he wasn't able to get it to go. The big presence of Christian Rohrer being felt. Here's Verallo again, trying to shoot it. Winds up in the skates of Dan Johnson. He'll backhand it out, and that'll do it for period number 2. No where to go. 40 minutes of play, and the Huskies are up 4. 5-1. Very eventful second period. We'll see if the third period is just as eventful. We'll see you on the other side on Huskies Nation. We welcome you back inside Canlan Sports Ice Arena. I'm James Goronsky in the booth with you here. Huskies and Flyers just about to begin third period action. Goalies remain the same. They keep Joe Miller in there. He'll play the remainder of this game. And to the left of us, Christian Rohrer stays up in between the pipes for the rest of this game as well. He's given up 5, but he's had a stellar game tonight. As we mentioned earlier in that second period, this could be double digits without him. And the Huskies take this face-off to begin period 3. Already leading by a score of 5-1. See what happens here in the action. Peters rolling with it. He drops it off and then returns it back, goes up the boards to Morgan. Morgan looking for the stick of Evans, and it bounced off of it. In the corner now. Nice keep in by Morgan. Goes off his own man, trying to send it to the net. And being defended was Matt Martin. Coming up with it again, though. Morgan, who's had a strong game tonight. Worked in. After the setup, Evans, and now Martin. Martin in behind. Pinned up against the boards. Ritchie all over him. In front! It comes to the stick of Lund. He shoots, looking for a tip, and it goes wide. Braden Ritchie to play it for the Flyers. And up once again. Huskies chasing after it. Lund runs into a couple of men, comes out with it, and then it's picked off looking, Selman. Peters looking for Sturm. Gut, and it rolls in on Rohrer for the third period's first stoppage. Puck coming out of there, Van Voorhis chasing after it, Castaneda with a man on him. That's Pickens, but it's taken off his stick by Castaneda and can be played at center by Varallo, who's working in with speed. Varallo trying a wraparound attempt. That went through the crease. Boy, that was close. Here is Maldonado dropping it for Castaneda, shooting towards the net. It's blocked by Gut. Into the corner, the clearing attempt failed. Castaneda shoots. That goes wide into the corner. Varallo passed it, and it wound up on the stick of Stump. He goes for a shot off the stick of Miller and into the netting. Huskies win the face-off in their defensive zone. Over the head and caught by Zimmerman. Shirky on this side, bounced off the stick, and Ritchie able to get it out to center, and now it's taken ahead by Ulmer. Ulmer defended by Zimmerman. He's pushed up against the boards, and Castaneda comes up with the puck. Smith working in there. Having time is Ulmer, and able to get it out, Northern Illinois. Zimmerman going across, Castaneda shoots, deflection wide of the net, picked up by Zimmerman in behind. He got it nearly to Smith. Clearing attempt failed. Castaneda has it. Morefoot sending it back the other way. Van Voorhis is the first one to it. His shot off the stick of Johnson. And now Smith coming up with the puck after battling for it. Here's a chance in front, working his way to the net, and Smith had his opportunity sealed up by Rohrer. Off the face-off, the Flyers take it. Over on this side to Gut. Nearly gave it up, he did. But he got it back and was unable to clear. Third time is a charm, maybe? They are able to get it out. And now, up ahead to Gut. Drop, and stump shot goes off the ceiling after being blocked by Ethan Koval. Here's a face-off win by the Flyers. Here's a shot, and that's blocked. Rebound, and that one denied by Miller off of the stump shot. And now he's got no stick, trying to play it, trying to kick it to Gut, but the Huskies able to come up with it. Battle at center. This one will wind up over by Miller. Huskies trying to keep it away from Ulmer. He's able to get it, and it's sent in on Miller, scooped up from Selman. Another whistle. Huskies able to corral the puck in their own defensive zone. It becomes a battle in the corner. Martin able to pry it out of there and sending it up just out of the reach of Morgan, so that gives Morefoot a chance to turn with it. And this shot up the ice, Selman. Danny Lunn is the first one on the scene. He's able to kick it away from the boards, but not out of the zone, is turning back for it. Peters up the boards. Evans, and now he finds Morgan. Morgan to the net, and that one's sticked aside by Rohrer. Winds up in the corner again. They're in front. Evans, and this one ricochets back to Peters. Across, Evans, score! Rodon Evans has made it 6-1. And so Evans, second goal of the season for him. This is Morgan as they try to keep the pressure on. And this play is whistled dead. Maldonado wins the faceoff. Back to Denny Lunn. He's seen a lot of ice time tonight. And Pickens was looking for Welninski. Picked off by Sturm. Saucer pass to Varolo! And through the crease it went. Gut trying to calm things down and behind the net. Maldonado forces a turnover. Lunn shoots. High shot and a good stop by Rohrer. Here's another face-off. And Varallo at center. So on that previous goal, Rowan Evans sent it towards the net, but the present in front from Garrett Formhalls, he was able to get a stick on it, and they'll credit the goal to him. It's his first goal of the season for Garrett Formhalls. And this will be a tripping on the play, but so Evans picks up his second assist of the night on the deflection goal from Formhalls. He scores his first of the season. The senior, as we mentioned, from Stewartville, Minnesota. Very competitive hockey player, especially being from the state of hockey. This one's taken away right off the face-off. And it's Stumpf, the goal scorer, dropping it for Gutt on this power play, which seeing a minute and a half already. Luke Marks, backhander, out. And Pickens, down deep. Johnson. This is Ulmer handing it off to the captain, Gutt. Return pass, they play catch. Gutt going across to Ulmer. No lane open for him to shoot as he throws it in the direction of Pickens. Stumpf finds it. Gutt, return pass to Stumpf. Crisp movement of the puck on this power play by the Flyers. Johnson goes up high. Stumpf. Pickens, and now Gutt. Gutt trying to get through the wall of the Huskies defense. Shot up high and wide. It was a missile from Stumpf, and it was so hard that it works its way all the way back to the defensive zone of the Flyers. Just about a half minute to go on this power play. Here is Gutt, and a shot denied. Snatched out of the air by Joe Miller. Huskies win the faceoff, and it is immediately shot out of there. On the other side, Alagna. Flyers looking at maybe one more opportunity on this power play. It's got 10 seconds to go. The ricochet off the stick, skate of Ritchie, thrown in on Miller, and he'll cover it up. Face-off controlled by the Huskies. And the power play time up. Smith out on the ice. Zimmerman forced a turnover. He's got it on his stick. And he was bodied off of it by Gutt. Taking up ice again. Stumpf looking for Pickens. He had a stick lifted by Shirky. This is forced out. Peter on the red line. Puck Handled by Stumpf. Nice little toe drag move trying to work around Van Voorhis. And the pass back. Peter diving for it to keep it in the zone. But now Smith looking to turn up ice. A nice pickpocket from Gutt. He's got it on his stick now. Up high. Ritchie. Castaneda going up ice looking for Zimmerman just out of his reach. That'll be an icing. Robertson and Johnson right off the face-off. It goes into the corner. Working it out of there, Shirky. And Van Voorhis looks up ice, finds Smith. Smith. Zimmerman parked in the slot. Van Voorhis along the blue line, can't keep it in. Nice play by Warner. And they work around the boards. It winds up on the stick of Shirky. He finds Zimmerman in the four-man defensive box, works out of it, looking for Shirky. Puck rolls off the stick, goes back to Peters at the point. And Zimmerman from the touch pass. He's got it at the left circle. Zimmerman in behind. And down low trying to work ahead is Shirky on net. And it's forced into behind the net, and that puck jumped up just a little too high and got a piece of the netting. 9.5 to go. And another face-off win from the Huskies. Evans. And the pass is picked off, sent down the ice. Winning the race is Pickens to deny the icing. Stumpf with it now along the boards. Stumpf with the speed, keeping away from everybody. This shot towards the net off the stick of Danny Lund. And they work below the goal line. And the Huskies able to win that battle. Out to center, though. Going to be taken right back again by the Flyers. This bank pass winds up on the stick of Peters. Nice toe drag. Tried another one, and it was taken away. It's Jake Walensky with it now. Danny Lund turning with it. Trying to get through that wall of Flyers. Finds a man in front. And that pass was too hot to handle for Peters. Martin. Down low. Intercepted from Morefoot. Clearing attempt. Tried to go up the boards. Stumpf comes in there, and it's worked out to Morgan. Morgan turning with it, throwing it over to the side. Peters trying to go back to the front. Winds up on the stick of Evans. Evans has it. Had his stick lifted for a moment, and then he got it around in the vicinity of Martin. Now it's below the crease. Morgan trying to look for a Husky in front. Nobody was there. It was blocked pretty well. Ulmer able to retrieve it at center ice. Hurleman can't quite get it out of the zone. Chased after by Franklin. And Hurleman will calmly play it ahead. Luke Marks trying to pinch it past a man. Peter wasn't having any of that. He gets it on his stick, finds Johnson. Dan Johnson, nobody home there. Ukness able to get it out of the zone. And then it's played once again. Alagna. Ukness hanging around that defense, trying to force a turnover. It's worked up ice now. Here's Jake Walensky on his backhand to the net. Save made Joe Miller. And it winds up in the corner, chasing after it. Gutt. He took it away from Ukness. Shooting! And that went through the crease, maybe getting a piece of the toe from Miller. Marks. Selman off of his skate. Now Gutt up again. Gutt towards Miller. Daps wide of the net. Ukness on the other side. Sends it down the length of the ice, and this could be an icing, and it will be. Jack Selman will sit in the box. Another Husky power play. They have not scored on it yet tonight. And Van Voorhis, crisp puck movement finding Sturm. Sturm the return pass. Trying to go across to Peters. Bounces up in the air. He sticks it down. Van Voorhis up at the blue line. Back to Peters. Peters to Maldonado. One-time shot. And that one didn't get a lot on it. Denied by Rohrer. It's along the boards now. Maldonado finding Van Voorhis again on the blue line. Going across over to Sturm. He's got a lane open to shoot. He finds Maldonado on his backhand. Can't quite corral it. Now it's thrown to the net and through the crease by Sturm. Sturm again with speed. Stops right around the line. Dropping to Peters. Van Voorhis again. They get set up. Under a minute to go on this power play. It's Sturm. Calmly getting it to Van Voorhis. Back to Sturm. Shooting one. That one is off of Ritchie and into the netting. .50 seconds remaining on this Husky power play. They win the faceoff. Castaneda shooting, deflected in front. Shirky on net. They score. And for the first time tonight, the Husky have scored on the power play. Jeff Shirky on the redirect. Early game, lots of people are working, not a lot of attendance tonight, but this is the second game in a row that the Huskies have put up at least 7. They've added the extra point to their touchdown, and it's 7-1. Right away, here's Stumpf, looking to make a difference of it. Finding his man in deep, his trusty line mate Pickens. It winds up on the stick of Van Voorhis, can't clear. Moorfoot's shot. And that is seen all the way by Joe Miller. Puck rolls past Moorfoot and Formhalls trying to chase after it. There was some reinforcements coming. And it's iced now. Another defensive zone face-off win for the Flyers. Up the boards, Stump, who's been out there an awful lot tonight, especially in this second period on. Tripped is Castaneda. That should be a penalty, and it is. The captain, Brian Gutt, will head to the box. And once again, the Huskies will have another power play. They just scored moments ago on the previous one. They'll get Varallo, Peters, Maldonado out there. Sturm and Van Voorhis on the blue line. And right off the faceoff, Maldonado going ahead. Sturm. Van Voorhis in the middle. Nice little deflection pass by Maldonado to Sturm, and he's turning with it. Up high to Van Voorhis. He quarterbacks this blue line. Across, one-timer shot, and that went wide from Peters. Looking to wind up on it with Sturm, but he had it poked away from him by Welninski. Not out, though. Maldonado, and the pass was just out of his reach. That clearing attempt knocked out of the air with the hand of Maldonado. Sturm. And Van Voorhis goes back to Sturm on the blue line. Sturm no open for him to shoot. Van Voorhis with that wicked slapper goes right into the glove of Rohrer. This one is sent down the ice. Out of his net. Evans passes it to himself off the boards, then stops on a dime around Ulmer, and then he dives to keep it away from him. Castaneda picks it up. His shot off the stick of Ulmer. Two great defensive plays from him. Shirky in behind. The most recent goal scorer for the Huskies hands it over to Evans, and now Castaneda back to Evans. Evans, Castaneda shoots, blocked in front. Puck kept out. Smith trying to go across there. Evans got it, and that was blocked again by Ulmer. Boy, he has been the workhorse on this power play for the Huskies. Castaneda shoots, that's blocked up high, nearly went into the net. And now they score! Zimmerman! Hat trick goal. The icing on the cake for him. Back-to-back power play goals, and Robbie Zimmerman has 3. Huskies have scored 16 goals now in their last 2 games, and this one not over. Huskies are going to be looking for another one. They've been competitive all season long to the bell so far, as this one is thrown into the netting after being blocked. Another face-off win. They get this line out there. Formhalls, Marks, and Ukness as this is thrown into the glove. Koval. And with 2:33 remaining in period 3, Huskies will get set up again with this line. And this is working in. Stump right on goal, they score! Ulmer was right in front, and he deflected it right past the netminder Miller. It is now 8-2.
Get that shit back! Get that shit back, Morgan! Get that shit back! Woo! Let's go, Morgan!
Right off the face-off, Evans takes it. Trying to work around. Trying to find Martin. Winds up on the stick of Welninski. Worked on by Evans. And Morgan able to pinch in deeper. Right out in front of the net, Morgan from the, or I beg your pardon, Martin. Taken by Evans ahead. Peters' shot. It was not Ulmer who just scored the goal, it was the captain Gutt. He's made it 8-2. Both of them were in front of the net. The last one to get a stick on it was indeed Gutt. So he picks up the goal. Working his way up, Morgan. The other way. Morgan across. Evans, touch pass! Right there, and just wide of the net off of A hot pass to handle. Matt Martin had that opportunity. And Evans can't escape his own zone. Stump right on goal. Seen all the way by Joe Miller. And Van Voorhis rings it up the boards. Varallo there. Sturm trying to keep it. And with a minute to go in regulation, Flyers enter the zone stump. Looking in front. Can't connect with Dan Johnson. But they can't get it out either. Now DiPego. It's out to center. Huskies will move to 3-0 on the young season. They'll head to Romeoville tomorrow for a rematch with the Flyers. Sturm, and now it's into the zone. Varallo back there to Sturm, and his shot save. Rebound, another save from Rohrer. This face-off taken once again by the Flyers. Welninski up at center. Castaneda will pin him up against the boards, and they'll look to ice this game. That'll run out the clock. Huskies move to 3-0 on the season. Second game in a row where they've scored 8. And they're rolling. Got a Romeoville matchup tomorrow between these two teams. Stay tuned for that. But for tonight, Huskies win it 8-2. Robbie Zimmerman leads the way in this one. He scores a hat trick and an exclamation point for the Huskies to close out this homestand. Huskies salute their crowd from Romeoville. Tomorrow is where they'll head for a Saturday evening matchup. On Huskies Nation, I'm James Goronsky saying good night all.